Have you ever stood alone in a vast, frozen wasteland, the biting wind cutting your skin like old regrets, tasting the metallic chill of snow mixed with fear on your tongue, while wondering, what if the one true friend who understood your deepest loneliness and awkward silences suddenly returns when you need them most, forcing you to sacrifice your isolation for the fragile hope of belonging in a broken world? That raw struggle between fear of connection and the desperate need for someone who truly sees you echoes through episode 3 of Snowball Earth, titled My First Friend, which aired on April 17, 2026. Continuing from Tetsuo's lonely arrival on the ice-covered planet and his first cautious encounters with survivors in earlier episodes, this chapter gives an intriguing first impression. Quiet moments of human warmth shattered by sudden, overwhelming danger, like finding a small fire in the snow only for a storm to threaten everything. You can stream it on Crunchyroll, right after Tetsuo began adjusting to the ruined, frozen Earth and meeting the group led by Ao Nogi at the Mishima Mall shelter. Picking up from Tetsuo's initial meetings with the survivors, episode 3 shows him slowly being accepted into the group at the mall despite his deep social struggles and shyness. He starts to feel a rare sense of belonging through small, everyday interactions in their underground haven. But this fragile peace breaks when a powerful, unfamiliar intergalactic kaiju attacks the settlement. As everyone flees, Tetsuo stands his ground alone to protect them, pushing himself to the limit against the creature's overwhelming strength. Just as defeat seems certain, a surprising savior appears in a moment that changes everything, blending tender character moments with intense action and ending on a high note of reunion and renewed purpose. It feels like those real-life or history moments when a lonely person finally finds a place among others, like a shy kid at a new school slowly making friends around a shared meal, only for an unexpected crisis to test those new bonds, much like soldiers finding comradeship in the trenches. Before the next battle, this episode advances the main narrative by deepening Tetsuo's integration into the survivor community while reintroducing key elements from his past in a dramatic way. It builds directly on the setup of his cold sleep return to a Snowball Earth and his first encounters with Ao and the others, shifting from pure survival and isolation to tentative belonging. The pacing balance is calm, slice-of-life adjustment scenes with a sudden, high-stakes kaiju battle, creating strong dramatic tension without feeling rushed. The cliffhanger-like resolution delivers satisfying payoff while opening new questions about the mutated threats on this frozen world. Fans often note cloudy aspects around Yukio's return and the escape pod's capabilities. From the manga by Yuhiro Tsujitsugu, Yukio had uploaded his consciousness and data into the pod before his original body's self-destruction, allowing a delayed reactivation and transformation into a smaller, more limited mecha form. This explains the no decent weapons line turning into effective arm blades. The pod was always a backup with unfinished installation. The anime clarifies this through action rather than heavy explanation, keeping focus on emotion. It ties into broader lore of humanity's fight against evolving galactic kaiju and the mysterious causes of the global freeze, hints of white spheres or experiments in the manga. Reddit discussions praise the reunion as heartfelt and the fight as exciting, noting how it prevents Tetsuo from retreating fully into isolation. The episode transitions forward with renewed partnership, leaving you curious. How will this first friend help against bigger threats, and what other surprises hide in the ice? Tetsuo shows real emotional depth here. His hidden wounds, years of social anxiety, feeling like a burden, and losing his only true companion Yukio, surface in his awkward attempts to fit in. His choices stay consistent with a shy, self-sacrificing boy who steps up when others are in danger, yet the episode brings surprising growth as he risks everything for his new group. The reunion feels transformative, revealing his motivation, fighting not just for survival, but for the rare connections that make life worth. Ao Nogi and the survivors add warmth through their gradual acceptance, highlighting themes of community and hardship. Yukio's return, voiced by Alejandro Saab in English dub or the Japanese CU, brings back his loyal, understanding personality with perfect timing. Dialogue feels natural and impactful, surprising in its sincerity amid the chaos. You feel as if you're shivering beside Tetsuo in the frozen mall, smelling damp concrete and faint food smells, hearing distant roars echo through corridors, and sensing the shift from lonely tension to hopeful relief when help arrives. The episode explores belonging, sacrifice, and the power of friendship in despair. What if your greatest weakness, social fear, meets your greatest strength, loyalty to others, in a world that has taken everything else? Morality shows in Tetsuo's selfless stand against the kaiju to buy time for civilians. Sacrifice appears in risking death for strangers who are becoming friends, while hope versus despair plays out as isolation gives way to partnership. These ideas manifest in small acts of acceptance turning into life-saving action, echoing stories from history where lonely survivors lovers or soldiers found purpose through unbreakable bonds during catastrophe. It asks you, have you ever felt truly alone until someone stood by you in your darkest moment? New layers enrich the universe by showing survivor life in the Mishima Mall Haven and introducing mutated kaiju variants stronger than those Tetsuo knew before. The frozen Earth's rules, limited resources, underground shelters, and evolving alien threats add gentle complexity, making the post-apocalyptic setting feel lived in and dangerous without overwhelming the personal story. The script mixes sharp, quiet character moments with intense action lines. They carry real emotional weight, foreshadowing deeper bonds, and resonate afterward like the echo of a mecha blade cutting through ice. No cliches, just honest talk that pulls you into Tetsuo's world. With Mari Fujino as art director and animation by Studio Kai, the visuals use cold blues and whites for the frozen world contrasted with warmer indoor tones, creating strong symbolism. Fluid movement shines in the kaiju fight, while stillness in social scenes heightens emotional impact. Beauty here means more than pretty snowscapes. It captures the fragile hope amid desolation. Character designs by Toshia Kono keep expressions raw and relatable. Direction employs dynamic camera angles that make battles feel personal and close-ups that draw you into quiet doubts. Editing rhythm builds tension perfectly from calm to chaos. The OST by Tatsuya Kato and others acts like another survivor. Haunting, tense motifs rise during the attack, while uplifting crescendos during the reunion burn into memory. Silence in key moments speaks louder than roars, letting the weight of friendship land deep. Griffin Burns, English, or the Japanese Seiyu as Tetsuo delivers standout work. His timbre mixing shy tremor with determined intensity that perfectly embodies the boy's soul cracking open to connection. This episode left me with a warm glow amid the cold, like tasting hot soup after freezing winds, mixed with sparks of wonder at reunion. Moments of Tetsuo's awkward belonging spark quiet scars of loneliness, while the kaiju fight and savior arrival bring pure adrenaline and joy. The pivotal scenes feel like a powerful collision of destinies. A shy boy's sacrifice meeting his lost friend's return, shifting his path from isolation to partnership. It connects to universal questions. Have you ever faced overwhelming odds alone, only for help to arrive from the most unexpected place? What first friend in your life has pulled you through the snow? I personally was struck by how the episode makes shyness and heroism feel like two sides of the same coin. You sit there, heart racing then warming, wondering what other bonds the ice might reveal. Some might feel the social anxiety elements lean heavy at times, or the kaiju fight resolves quickly after the buildup. But these seem like deliberate choices. They mirror Tetsuo's internal struggles and the sudden dangers of this world, giving space for emotional payoff rather than constant action. The balance keeps the story human and exciting. Episode 3 succeeds strongly in its goals, blending heartfelt character growth with thrilling mecha kaiju action while deepening the frozen world's mysteries. Its strengths, emotional reunion, dynamic visuals, and resonant themes far outweigh any small pacing spots. In the end, it leaves you carrying a quiet sense of hope and excitement. So tell me, after feeling the frozen wind on your face, hearing the roar of an unfamiliar monster, and witnessing a long-lost friend burst back into the fight, can you really turn away without seeing what new battles and bonds await Tetsuo? The Snowball Earth has given him his first real friend again, and something deep inside you might already be reaching for your own. What hidden connection or inner strength waits to awaken if you keep watching? The desire to know pulls stronger than the cold, warm, urgent, and impossible to resist. Watch it and let the story thaw something in your own heart.